Hey guys, it's Brett. I'm here with my home fragrance empties video for the month of November and December of last year, 2019. I didn't get around to doing my Novembers and December because we were busy with Vlogmas, and so I just went ahead and just waited till January. So this is pretty much 2 months worth here. So I'll go ahead and get started. I have most of the candles. I only have like 8 wax melts, so that's not too bad for the wax melts. I guess I was burning more candles than I was melting the last couple of months. So we'll start up with the candles here. First up we have Sugar Plum and Blackberry from Homeworks. It was from today's special value on QVC. This came with a set of 4, and this, I believe it was the Gourmand collection, I believe this one was, and they had a holiday collection. I have some from that collection as well. This one, I did enjoy this one. It was nice. Basically I got exactly what it says pretty much. I got the plum and the blackberry, and then you get the vanilla. There's a really nice blend of that plum and the blackberries. When on cold, before I burned it, I thought I smelled a little bit more plum than I did blackberries, but when I burned it, it was actually almost the opposite. When I burned it, I smelled more of the blackberries, and then the plum wasn't as strong as the blackberries when I burned it. But you really got that nice creamy vanilla mixed in with both of those, so it was really nice. It wasn't super strong though. It was probably like, I think this was one that kind of started out a little on the weaker side until about the halfway point, and then it kicked in and got a little bit stronger. First half, I think, was probably down to like a 4 to 5 on the first half, and then the second half it was about up to like a 6 to 6.5 ish, right around there. So it did better in the second half. But yeah, I like that scent. It was pretty nice. I don't know if I'd repurchase that necessarily, but it was pretty good. I liked it. And then next we have Bordeaux Fig and Wild Raspberry from Homeworks as well, from the same collection. This one I love. This one was really, really good. This one has such a really nice, such a good mixture of that earthy Bordeaux Fig and that raspberry. Oh, it was so good. It's very, very, very nice blend. This one was nice and strong most of the way through for me. This one burned perfectly and was strong the whole way through. Oh, I forgot to talk about the burn on this one. Back to the burn on the sugared plum and blackberry. Burn was perfect on this one. Really good, had no problems, burned all the way down. There is a little bit of wax in there, but it's a real thin layer of wax. But the flames never got puny or anything. The flame was nice and strong all the way to the very bottom. So that was really good burn on that one. And the same with this one, really good burn. All the way down, just a tad bit of thin layer of wax left on the bottom. Did really good. The throw on this one was much better than that one was. It was more consistent with this one, probably like an easy 7 to 7.5 all the way through on this one. I really enjoyed this one all the way through. Sometimes with these flames on these 3 wicks, they did get a little bit high. You might have to like kind of watch them, and if they start getting too high, you blow it out and retrim it. So you kind of have to keep your eye on these too much, but I don't really care about that as long as they're burning good. It's better than getting like puny flames. At least you didn't have to worry about that at all. You just have to keep an eye, make sure they don't get too crazy high or anything, and then blow them out, retrim them if they do. Or if you see, you know, smoke coming off the flame at all and you soot, you might blow it out and trim it. But I didn't really have much soot coming off of these too bad. As long as I, you know, kept them trim at a reasonable length and kept an eye on them, they were fine. Okay, now we have, those are the only 2 fallish candles I had left over from the fall. The rest of these are mostly all holiday winter scents. So I'll continue with the Homeworks TSVs. This is from the winter collection. This is Holiday Spice. And I didn't say these were 3 wicks. Did I say these were all 3 wicks? They're the 14-ounce 3 wicks that he had out for the TSVs. This one here burned really good, and this one you can see burned even further down. Not much wax left on this one at all. There's just a little few wick pieces left at the bottom there. That's what the black things are. A little bit of the wick kind of fell off in there. This one was nice. It had definitely that spice. It was definitely spicy, like it said. It had, the said notes say clementine, fir needle, clove, pomander, and simmering spices. You got the spices, like the clove and the pomander, and then different cinnamon and different spices with it. I don't know if I really got fir needle, really. It was kind of just spices. That's different spices, but the first half, well, a little past the first half, even toward the bottom, I got mostly, I did get cinnamon, but I got all different, the clove and all the different kinds of spices, coriander, and it was a nice blend of different spices. It wasn't too strong on the cinnamon or anything, but then towards the last part of it, it got just a little bit stronger on the cinnamon, a little bit kind of like cinnamon and clove buds type of a scent towards the last part of it. It was a little bit more heavy on the cinnamon than I prefer towards the last part of it. I don't know why that happened towards the end, but the rest of it was really good. I did like it. I just didn't like when it got really heavy on cinnamon on the last part for some reason. But I did enjoy it overall. It burned really good, like I said, and then the throw, a nice solid 7 to 7.5 on this one, so that was nice. Then we have Frosted Holly, also from the TSV, and they have the, I didn't show you the labels, or the lids. Pretty, it's just the same design as here. This one was good. Burned down is good. It didn't burn down quite as far as the other two. As you can see, it burned down further in the middle where the wicks were before it put itself out, and didn't burn as far down around the side here. But it didn't, the flames were fine and strong. They didn't get puny at all the way through. This one, I did like the scent too. At first, this one was one of my favorites when I first got them. It had a nice blend of like pine and like mint. It says Fraser fir and cool peppermint, winter woods. But you really basically got that fir pine type of scent with a little bit of the cool peppermint. Not a super strong peppermint, but just a nice blend of that peppermint mixed with that fir. It was really nice. But it wasn't really strong. The first half was like really light. I'm like barely like a 2, 1 to 2 maybe, if that. And then right around the halfway point, it did finally start kicking in, and it got up to maybe like around a 5 or so. 5 to maybe close to 6 sometimes, so it did much better in that second half. I just don't know why it was so weak on the first half. It took quite a while for that to kick in. But I did really like the scent. I just wish it would have been stronger on that first half. It was so light in that first half. Then lastly, from the TSVs, we have Season's Greetings. This one's been out before, and I did like it before. I've had it in the past. And this one burned down the same kind of like the Frosted Holly. It didn't burn all the way around the sides, just it burned a little further down the middle where the wicks were on this one. But flames are nice and high all the way through. They never got puny or anything on this one either. This scent is really nice. I do like this one. It's a nice mixture of, it also has the pine and the, is it balsam? It says balsam, juniper sprig, and winter mint. It has a little bit of kind of mint with it. But not peppermint like the Frosted Holly. This is more of a different, it's like an iced kind of a mint, winter mint it says, and then the currant. You do get currant mixed in with that as well. It's a nice blend. I do enjoy it. And this one was a nice medium throw for me on this one. Probably like about a 7, 7.5 on this one. So that's good. And it was all the way through. I could smell it really well. So overall, I was pretty pleased with most of the TSVs. They burned amazing. He's really corrected the burn on a lot of those of his candles. Just a couple of them were really light at first, but then they kicked on the second half. Other than that, they were really good, and I was really happy with those. Next we have Twisted Peppermint from Bath & Body Works. This has the jar that had the luminary thing where you can see the flames through the snowflakes there. So this one here, I love Twisted Peppermint. It's always been one of my favorites from Bath & Body Works. It's just a really good peppermint. Super strong, nasal clearing, strong peppermint. I've loved it. I get one every year. But for some reason, it was too much for me this year, and I'm so upset about it because I love this one, but it was so strong this year. This is probably the strongest it's ever been. It was almost too strong. It's always veered on being a little bit too strong in the past, but this year it went almost over the top for me. I had it out here, and it was just like almost headache-inducing because it was so strong. I was like, I gotta put that out because it was almost giving me like I was starting to get a little bit of a headache, so I had to put it out. Then I moved it into our bathroom here in the hallway, and that was better because it was so strong in there. It was wafting out into the living room and the hallway from the bathroom. So it was kind of better to put it away from where you're at. That way it's not as super strong where you're sitting. So kind of put it further away from where you are, and then maybe it'll travel in. Even then it was kind of strong, even when I had it off into another room. So then when I had it in the bathroom, it's got really puny at the halfway point. Really puny. The flames got really small. The wax got really dingy, really murky looking, and it just really nasty. You can see the black line. I don't know if you can see that there. You can see the black line here where the wax got kind of dingy and yucky. You can see it better when I see right there. Yeah, it got really nasty. So I ended up putting it into my candle crock. And if you're new to candles, you don't know what a candle crock is, hold on a second, I'll show you what it is. All right, so this is a candle crock. It's like a crock pot for candles, basically. If you have, especially like Bath & Body Works candles, if you buy Bath & Body Works candles, if you've noticed lots of times during the halfway point, the flames will get really small. That's what people in the candle community call puny wick syndrome, if you're new to candles. I know I have a lot of people on our channel that watch my candle videos that are into candles, that just watch the food reviews or vlogs or whatever, so they'll watch my candle videos. Sometimes they don't know about these things, so I tried to explain it. That's what we call puny wick syndrome, because the flames are really puny. That happens a lot on Bath & Body Works candles. At the halfway point, the flames get super small, but barely look like they're lit. So you can either take a cotton ball and do the cotton ball method, where you blow it out, dab the cotton ball in to absorb some of the wax, and then relight it, and then the flames will pop up and be stronger again. Or if you don't want to mess with that and it's just getting terrible and murky, like this one just looked real murky and nasty, so you can put it into your candle crock, which is like a crock pot for candles. It looks like a crock pot there. It's got a little light back here. It's got your plug-in with your little switch here that you turn it on, and the little light comes on showing you that it's on. You just take the candle, of course you take the lid off, and then you just drop it down in there, and then it melts from the bottom, but then it keeps it warm because it's got the sides around it, so it helps keep it warm. You can also put candles on a candle warming plate. Like if you have a wax warmer, you can take the plate off and sit it on the warmer part. But this is a little bit better because it keeps it warmer on the side, so it helps keep it a little hotter, and it melts it a little bit faster. And then it'll just figure in your room. That way you don't have to worry about having the candle lit. So I put it in there after the halfway point in my candle crock here, and I also spray painted this white. My husband spray painted this white because it was like a burgundy color, but then I wanted it white, so it turned out pretty good white. So then I put it in my candle crock, and it was pretty much just as strong as the candle crock. Usually, lots of times it'll be even stronger when you melt it. So it was just as strong melting as was burning, and I would have to turn it off after a while because it was just too much. It was just, I just wasn't enjoying it. I don't know why. Like, I woke up, I had it going at night one night, and then I woke up in the middle of the night, and I was like, like my mouth was all dry, and I felt like I was just asphyxiated in twisted peppermint smell or something. It was just too much, just way too much. As your Bath & Body Works, if you make it again, just tone it down just a little bit. And I hate to say that because I've always loved that it's so strong, and I love strong scents, but that one's just a little bit too much for me. Maybe they need to make a low intensity version, like they have high intensity, like mahogany teakwood and stuff. A few of those lines, they need to make like a low intensity twisted peppermint, and then I might be able to do that. I know they have some other peppermint ones, like the crushed candy cane and different ones like that, but some of those don't throw well at all. But anyway, I don't know. I may be done with twisted peppermint. That's sad, but we'll see. I may try it again, maybe in a couple years, and see what happens. All right, so next we have Scentworks Spiced Pine Cone. This is from Kohl's. This one was probably the best Scentworks candle that I've ever had. I was really happy with this one. This one was a really nice scent. Oh, you're really good. It's like a woodsy, spicy, a clove. Oh, it's like a spicy, woodsy scent. The notes are pine cones, oak leaves, Indonesian clove, cinnamon woods, and Canadian pine. So you definitely have that pine and the woodsiness, but then you got that, the oakiness, and you got the cloves and the spices in there. But it says Indonesian clove, but it kind of maybe does have like maybe Indonesian spices or something. There's different kinds of spices in there with that woodsy, oaky scent. Yeah, it's really nice. I really enjoyed this scent, and it burned really good. Burned good all the way down. It didn't get, in the past, the ones Scentworks that I've tried have been the flames get really puny at the halfway point, kind of like Bath and Body Works. But this one, the flames stayed strong through most of the candle to the very end. So that was good. And the throw was really good on this one too. Sometimes some of the Scentworks candles I've had have been a little bit on the lighter side, where they'll start out strong, they'll get kind of lighter, but this one stayed pretty consistent through the whole candle. Probably easy 7.5 on this one. So yeah, I was pretty happy with this one. I wish they all could be that way, but they're not. Which brings me to this one here. We have Scentworks Sugar Cookie. This was in this round. I don't know if this is a special edition, but it's not octagon like this one. It's a round one. It's glass too, but it's kind of a thinner glass. It's not as heavy as these are. And then this one has 3 wicks as well. This one, I like the scent. I actually love the scent. It was amazing when I first burned it. It smelled exactly like a sugar cookie, or I reviewed it and I said in my review, it's like you walk in the house and it's like you have sugar cookies baking in the oven, or like a cake baking in the oven. It kind of reminded like a cross between a sugar cookie or like a cake. Just some kind of cake or sugar cookie burning, or not burning, cooking in the oven. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, it's just really good. Super authentic. I love it. It's probably one of my favorite type of sugar cookie scents that I had. Really good. The first half was so good. The flames were nice and strong. Was throwing really good. But then at the second half, the flames got puny. The wax got murky. The scent throw got a little bit lower. I could still smell it, but it wasn't quite as strong and vibrant as the first part. The first part, the scent throw was probably like a easy, gosh, I mean, I smelled it right when I first, like within like a minute of lighting, I could start smelling it. It was probably like a 8 to 8.5 or so on the throw out of 10. But then at the halfway point, I could still smell, but it probably dropped down to like a 7.5. So it dropped down a little bit when the flames got punier, probably because the wax doesn't get as hot, so it doesn't throw out the scent quite as strong. But I could still smell it. But then the scent itself, just because the flames were more puny, it just kind of wasn't, the throw wasn't quite as vibrant, and the scent itself wasn't quite as vibrant as it was that first half when the flames were strong and the wax was nice and clean and nice and pretty, and it smelled just super, super good. But when it gets puny, the scent just kind of gets nice, but it's just not quite as nice as it was the first half. So yeah, that's the only thing I didn't like about that was the burn. The burn got really, really puny at the halfway point, and then the throw just got a little bit less because of that. But if this would have burned all the way through well, like this Spice Pine Cone, I probably would have liked it a lot better. I have heard that they also have this sugar cookie in this packaging with the octagon glass. They have 2 different packagings for a sugar cookie. I've heard that the one in this glass here, the octagon shaped glass, burns better. I don't know if that's true for everybody, but I did hear from somebody that theirs burned better in the octagon shaped glass. So I don't know. I did like the scent. It just didn't perform very well for me, especially after the halfway point. Next we have another Homeworks. We have the Sugar Beignets from Homeworks. It's in the hobnail glass jar, really pretty jar. This is 4 wicks, and this one was so good. I love this one. This came in the set with the was it Blackberry Tres Leches? Yes, and this was so good. On cold sniff, I thought this smelled like cinnamon sugar donut from Bath and Body Works. I can't smell much anymore. But when burning, it was a little different. It didn't smell as much like cinnamon sugar donut when it burned to me. When it was burning, that pastry note came out. It has pastries in the scent note. It was French pastry, powdered sugar, spun sugar, vanilla, and cinnamon. Yeah, that bready pastry note really came out when you was burning it. But then you also got that sugar and that cinnamon and all that kind of stuff with it as well. But that bready pastry really came out when you burned it. In cinnamon sugar donut from Bath & Body Works, you don't really get like a bread pastry note, but this one you did. That's what made it different for me from cinnamon sugar donut. And I really liked it because I love bready pastry type of scents. And that really had that in there mixed with that cinnamon and that sugar. Really good, so good. I love this one. And the burn was amazing. If you can see, let me show you close up there. It burned down clear to the wick clips. There's hardly any wax. Like, this is probably the best burning Homeworks candle I think I've ever had. I mean, there's hardly a trace of wax left on the bottom there. it burned amazing. Flames were nice and strong all the way through. This one too, you gotta keep watching it though, because the flames did get a little strong sometimes, and you might see a little bit of black smoke coming off the flames. You just gotta keep watching it. After like an hour or half or so, you want to blow it out, trim that wick, and then relight it. But they suggest not to burn it more than 3 or 4 hours at a time, but like about an hour and a half or so, you might want to blow it out and trim it, because those flames can get, when the wax goes down, the flames can get pretty strong and a little out of control. So you might want to trim it, blow it out, trim it, and relight it to keep that flame a little bit under control. But yeah, it was really good. And the throw on this one was nice too. Probably easy 7.5 to 8 or so most of the way through. Yeah, I highly recommend this one. I loved this one. I would 100% purchase that one. I loved it. Then lastly, oh we know we have 2 more candles left. We have this Merry Mistletoe, and the brand here, it doesn't say on the top. It just says scented candle. This is from our friend Brian. He sent this to us. It says distributed by Illume. I believe it's Illume who this is from. So this one was nice. Sorry, Phoebe's barking here. There's something outside. It was just a pine, and like I think it's like a spicy pine. What did it say in the notes? I think the notes are on the top. Yeah, evergreen, cardamom, and cinnamon stick. So yeah, it had like a kind of cinnamon spice and cardamom with that evergreen. It smelled nice, but it was really light, like almost like so light I couldn't smell it at all, like really light. When I burned it, I even put it in our bathroom and I barely could smell it at all. And then it burned, it tunneled really bad when I burned it. I had to end up scooping some of the wax out so that I could get the burn better. So yeah, I really liked the scent. I just didn't perform very well for me, and I couldn't really smell it. Then lastly, we have another candle from Brian. He sent us this Yankee Candle Christmas wreath in this little bitty small jar here. And this did really good actually. I was really surprised how good it did for this little jar. This is just a little 3.7 ounce jar. Yeah, Christmas wreath, everybody probably knows if you're in the candle community. A Christmas wreath has like a little bit of a cat pee smell to it. Some certain Christmas tree scents have a little bit of a cat pee type of a smell to it. It has that in there a little bit. But I think because it was a smaller candle, it wasn't as bad. Like if it was like a bigger candle that would be through a little bit stronger, it might be not so good. But I actually don't even know if I've ever had Christmas wreath before. I think this is the first time I've ever burned it. I've smelled it at the store and I've always been like, I don't know about that one because of that cat pee kind of smell. I actually didn't mind it. I didn't really, when it burned, I didn't really smell the cat pee smell as much. And it actually threw fairly well for a little candle. It's probably, and I had it in the bathroom. It's probably like a, I don't know, like a 6.5-ish or so, which is pretty good for a little Yankee candle like this. So yeah, I was actually pretty pleased with it. Overall, it was pretty good. All right, now we will go over the wax melts. I don't have too many here. I have 4 here from Scentsy by Kelby, our friend Kelby that sends us wax melts. He makes his own wax melts. We have Elf Sweat right here in this little pack here. And this one was nice. It was it was like a pine, but like effervescentness. Like a very effervescent pine scent with maybe like some berries mixed in there. It was different, but I liked it. It was nice. Yeah, and it had a nice throw at this one, so that was good. Then we have Santa's Cookies. And this one was just pretty much just a bakery sugar cookie, some frosting mixed with it in there. So yeah, that was nice. And it was a nice medium throw with that. And then Sweet Pine. This one that got really, the plastic back here got really soft for some reason on this one. Yeah, this one was good. It's just what it says, it's very sweet pine. And I love sweet pine scents. Yeah, really, really nice. And it threw nice as well. And then lastly, from Scentsy by Kelby, we have North Pole. This was good. It was just a nice, like peppermint with like vanilla. Very similar kind of to North Pole from Yankee Candle, which is like a peppermint with like a vanilla type of scent with the peppermint. That's how that was, like a sweet vanilla with peppermint. Really good and threw nicely as well. Then we have 3 Scentsy bars. We got this from our subscriber Mandy Cerna. Here's her information here real quick if you're interested. If you need a Scentsy consultant, you can jot down her information. She was nice enough to send us a few Scentsy bars to review. We have Scentsy, or Snow-Kissed Cranberry. This one was nice. Yeah, so this one was nice. Just nice wintry cranberry scent. Yeah, this was nice. And this was, had a good medium throw on that. And next we have Pretty in Plaid. This was good too. This had like pine and juniper. Some like a little bit of cranberry in this one too. This was nice. This one, about medium throw on this one too. And then we have Butter Pecan, also from Scentsy. Yeah, this one was nice. It was very buttery, get that nutty pecan note in there, very bakery-like. Yeah, this one was pretty strong. This was a pretty high strong throw on this one. So those were good. Thank you, Mandy, for sending those to us. And then lastly, for the wax melts, we have Homeworks Winter Fireside. This was sent to us from our friend Brian as well. So thank you, Brian. This was the very first Homeworks wax melt that I've had. And the scent was really nice on this one. Oh, it's so good. You get that fireside, woodsy fireside, and then you get like a clove, and the scent notes are sultry incense, smoked firewood, rich clove buds, and mulled spices. Yeah, you really get that, like, with that woodsy fireside smokiness, and then the incense, like incense and cloves. Really good. Such a very sophisticated type of scent. I love it. Really nice scent. Except it was really light, like so light. I had this in my 20-watt warmer, but it was so light. I just got little hints of it, but it was really light. I'm surprised because it smells really strong, but then when you melted it, it just didn't, you couldn't smell it very well. So I was really upset about that because I really like this scent. I've never had the candle before, so maybe I might try the candle sometime and see if that would throw any better. But the wax melt, wasn't too impressed with this wax melt. And that was the first wax melt I've ever had from Homeworks. And I think I have heard from some other people that their wax melts aren't that strong. So yeah, let's see. That was it for the candles and the wax melts. So now I just have some hand soaps to show you here. First up is the Perfect Autumn. I have 3 fall scents that I finished up in November. This one, really good. It's just like the candle. It's just apple, cranberry, and pumpkin, I believe, isn't it? Cranberry, pumpkin, and apple, yes. Really good. Smells just like fall in a hand soap. Then we have Give Thanks. I like the gray packaging in this. And this had a pumpkin. It was pumpkin and sugar, I believe. Harvest pumpkin, spice, clove, and sugar cane. You got a little bit of a spiciness, but then that sugar, it was kind of like a sugary spice, kind of, but like almost come off like smells a little like bubblegum kind of too, with like a spiciness, sugariness. I don't know, it's different. I wasn't super crazy about that one. It was just okay. It was kind of different. Then we have Harvest Gathering. This one was really good. This is just, oh, it's so good. It's just really good spicy fall scent. It's got the apples and clove buds, all that stuff. Yeah, really good. Lasted a really long time on your hands. I love that one. Then we have the rest of these. I have 4 more left, and they are in the deep cleansing because my hands were getting really I was breaking out with eczema on my hands, like especially on my fingers and things, and my hands, just little spots, and they were just, I couldn't get them to clear up. So I know a lot of people said their hands get really dry when they use these foaming soaps, but I've never really had a problem with that too much before. But for some reason, those little spots of eczema on my hands just were not clearing up. They would get really dry, the little eczema breakouts I would have, and they just, especially like I had one spot on my pinky that just would not clear up for nothing. So I thought maybe it is that foaming hand soap that's just making them dry out and making my eczema flare up so bad. So I decided to try the other deep cleansing hand soap and see if that did better, because I know some people do try that instead and it doesn't dry their hands out as much. So I have the Vanilla Bean Noel deep cleansing hand soap, And actually, it seems like these are working a little bit better, and it doesn't make my hands quite as dried out as they were. Not necessarily dried out, it's the eczema breakouts that I had for some reason. So it does better, that my eczema doesn't break out quite as much when I use this deep cleansing. So I think I might be all right more in the summertime to use the deep cleansing, but in the wintertime, or in the foaming in the summertime I might be able to use, but in the wintertime I think I might have to go with the deep cleansing. So I didn't realize they had the little beads in there again, because they used to back in the day when they had the antibacterial hand soaps, but then they didn't for a while. But now those little beads, those little exfoliating beads, are back in there, and I like that because it feels like it cleans your hands really good with those exfoliating beads in there. So this is Vanilla Bean Noel, really good. Just vanilla bean, sugar cookies, and like a little bit of a caramel scent. Yeah, it was nice. I like Vanilla Bean Noel. Then we have Winter Candy Apple. We actually have this in our sink. We have a little pump in our sink that we put this in. We still have some in there. We haven't finished it yet, but this is just it's just like Winter Candy Apple always is. Just a candied apple type of scent. A little bit of there's a slab bit of floralness in there. It says, what to say, winter rose petals. Just a tad bit of floralness in there. I don't know about rose really, but yeah, it was pretty good. And then we have Twisted Peppermint. Now, I loved this in the hand soap. I always loved the hand soap. The hand soap wasn't too much for me like the candle was. I'll still get the hand soap. Ah, yeah, so good. And it really lasts a really nice time on your hands. When you're washing your hands, you can really get that nice, good peppermint smell on that. Love that. And then lastly, we have this Arctic Berry. This one was in the Creamy Luxe hand soap. I don't care for as much for the Creamy Luxe as I do. I like the deep cleansing better because it has those little beads like I told you about. This Creamy Luxe doesn't have the beads. It's just, it's a little more, it's harder to rinse off your hands. When you wash your hands with this Creamy Luxe, it kind of leaves a little bit of a film on your hand a little bit, and it takes a little longer to rinse off, and I don't really care for that as well. So I prefer the deep cleansing over this one. So I probably wouldn't get the Creamy Luxe anymore. They're pretty because they're kind of shiny looking, but the soap is kind of shiny looking, but I don't like that it takes a while to rinse off your hands. But this scent was just a nice berry. I think it was berry. Yeah. Berry with like cranberry, and then like a general berry type of scent. It was nice. All right, so that is it for my November, December candle and wax melts and hand soap empties. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to y'all in our next video. Bye.